Hello everyone, it is princess_mini4 and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be giving you guys the tips and tricks that I used to pass my NHA certification exams. If you guys are new here, please make sure you hit that notification bell and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a post. Okay you guys, so I'm gonna give y'all a little background on me. I have never been like a big studier. So I went through 12 years of school from kindergarten to 12th grade. Actually, I was in preschool or pre-K, and I also was in Head Start. I've been in school for a long time. So yeah, and I think I studied a lot more in like middle school and high school, but towards the end of high school, what is that? I stopped studying, and I don't know why, but when it comes to me and studying, I just have a hard time focusing on what is this thing doing? I have a hard time just focusing on being able to study, you know, and everybody studies in different ways, but it's like having to read the same thing over and over and over and over again. To me, it's just so boring. Like, I can't stand it, y'all. So I just ended up stopped studying, and then when I went to college, I did 4 years of college. I got my bachelor's degree, and I think I probably studied 5 times, like literally, because it's like I just can't do it. It's so boring. Like, I'm sitting in this room and I'm studying. This phone right here, too easy for me to scroll on the phone. I will put on do not disturb. That doesn't stop me from going on it. You know, I'd be looking out the window. The blinds are never open, but anything is more interesting than studying. Like a typical day in my life, I am scrolling on social media almost all day. I know that's not good, but it is what it is. And then it's like the only time I can really focus is when I'm reading my Bible, and even then it's a little bit hard. Like, that's why I like to get up early and read my Bible when I'm the only one awake, because there's just less distractions, because I'm just easily distractible. I've always been all my life. Like, anything, I can easily lose my focus, and it's really not good. But it is what it is. Ain't nothing I can do about it. But yeah, I be scrolling on social media while I'm watching a video, or if I'm playing a game, I'm scrolling on social media. If I'm live streaming, I'm scrolling on social media while playing the game and live streaming. Like, that's just how it is. I'm always doing multiple things. So I say all that just to say that I don't study much. So I knew I needed to study for these exams, so I just kind of was like, girl, you just gonna have to deal with it. But one of the first things I can say that I did was I got me a notebook and I took notes. So I love to take notes. I'm a big note taker, so I'll take me some notes. But starting from my medical assistant exam, my medical assisting class was 12 weeks, which I know some of them are like 9 months. But what I did, for every week, I made a Quizlet and I took notes. So I'm gonna open it. This is my, yeah, I think there's probably like 5 pages that we didn't use, and I didn't really even take all the notes I could have, because I still would have been here taking them. But yes, so our first chapter, which I started, it says February 24th. Our first chapter was chapter 36. So when we would have the textbook to read, I would take notes from the textbook. And pretty much when I take notes, the textbook had things that were highlighted, so I would take notes off of that. You guys should watch my homework video just to see how I take notes and stuff, because then you can accurately see what I'm doing. But anything that was highlighted, I would do, or if I just felt like it was important, then I would also take that down. So yeah, this one has like all, what are the patients, their rights, so I put that down. If it's like bullet pointed, like little things, like once you've been in school for a long time, you can kind of tell what's important, especially if it's mentioned over and over again. It's important, you know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing I did, was take notes. That's going to help you when it comes to studying, is taking notes. Like, these are all my notes. So I kept this notebook just to literally show you all of this. Like, these are all my notes. I took notes for every single chapter. Then I would make a Quizlet. So we had smart book assignments that would ask us questions about the textbook, and I would take a picture of the question with the answer to add to my Quizlet flashcards. So why can't I find week 1? Hold on, let me see if I can find my library. I wonder why it's not showing me, because I know I've been doing it since week 1. So yeah, that's how I did my flashcards. So I took flashcards from the very beginning. And it's like I said, I put them in here. So that's why it took me a long time to do schoolwork, because I'm writing the notes, which that takes a long time. I'm reading the chapter, which that takes a long time. Then I'm actually making a Quizlet flashcard thing at the same time. And it's so funny. I was in the class with 2 other girls, and when I told them, oh yeah, I've been making flashcards since the beginning, they were like, oh, we did not do that. But that's just what I did. And it came, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I did not really read them that much, because, for example, chapter 36 was 62 terms. And then chapter 37 was 80 terms. We did have exams at the end of almost every week, which I would kind of study them then. And like, I don't know if I just studied it, like, I don't know. That's how I study. I just read the flashcards over and over and over again. That's just how I know how to study. There's probably better ways to study, but that's how I do it. And it's so boring. But yeah, I'm not going to show y'all. Y'all know what a Quizlet flashcards look like. But, you know, so this is like hematology. These are like our quizzes. But we have chapter 46 smart book. So I would just literally just take flashcards, y'all. So I want to show y'all. And the good thing about Quizlet, if y'all don't know, come on now, stop. It has, you can learn the flashcards. Then it has, you can learn them, so it's going to ask you questions about them, but you can only do that like 2 times without paying for it, so use those wisely. Then you can make a makeshift test, which that helped me a lot, making a little makeshift test. But the only thing about the makeshift test, it's exactly like the flashcards, and that's not how it's going to be on your exam at all. Like, all the questions you study are not going to be on your exam, most likely. Then it has a little matching game, and then it has, apparently there's more games. There's blocks and there's blast. So Quizlet, if you don't use Quizlet, you should really use Quizlet. A lot of this stuff you can do for free. You can only do, like I said, the learn thing twice, and you can only take 1 test. But it's better than nothing, you know? So that is pretty much what I did from week 1 to week 11. In week 11, I pretty much was making flashcards for the exam. So that's how I kind of got myself started on a good foot. Now when it came to actually studying for my exams, they told us that they were not going to give us a study guide, because they don't really know what's going to be on there. Like, when they're watching us take the exams, they can't walk around. And the only thing they can help us with is if there's something wrong with the computer. Like, it's illegal for them to look at the test questions. So that's why they were like, we're not going to give y'all a study guide, because we don't want you to study off that study guide and then you're going to study for something that's not on the test. Like, study guides really only work for like terms. Like, all of our quizzes were terms. That's the only time that they really work, because you're studying for the terms that are going to be on your exam. But these certification exams, there's like a pool of questions from like every single state in the United States, and it's all into one test. Sorry, I'm going to take my pills. And it's just all randomized. So I'm in a class with 2 other girls. It's all 3 of us. We probably didn't have the same question at all. And there's like, you know, the first one was 120 questions. That was our phlebotomy. Our medical assistant was 180 questions, and then our patient care technician was 120. And I can guarantee y'all, we did not have the same question, probably not one time. So yeah, it's kind of impossible. But here's what I'm gonna tell you how I did study for them. Let me take my pill. All right, so depending on how you are a learner and how you retain information, so that's the thing. This is how I study for it. You're gonna have to find a way that works best for you. But for me, I'm a big visual learner, and I literally spend a lot of my days watching YouTube videos. So thank God for YouTube, because that's what I did, and I believe that's what helped me pass. Also from obviously retaining information over the 12 weeks, you know. But there are so many YouTube videos for everything. If you're going for nursing, see, this video doesn't just have to be for medical assistant. This can be for any certification exam. Anyone, nursing, doctorate, blah, 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 whatever it is, you know, because you're going to have to take some sort of exam eventually. So I'm going to tell y'all the two, well, there was a few of them I used. So the main one I used was Florida Training Academy. And I will link them in the comment section, not in the comment section, I'll link them in the description down below. Florida Training Academy. So she is a nurse and she does a lot of stuff for nursing and for CNA. With CNA and patient care technicians kind of go hand in hand. Mostly CNAs work at, like, you know, nursing homes, but you could be like a CNA in a hospital, but they're just going to call you a patient care technician, you know. So it's kind of the same thing because you're taking care of the patient. So that's why I was using that as well. So I don't know if I'm gonna link the videos. I may turn the camera around and have y'all see that. But yeah, another one that I used was Medical Assisting with Miss K. So I'm sure if y'all are in the medical field, you'll probably know about both of these, and they just did really well with me. And the thing is, what they do, at least the videos that I watched from them, was the practice test. And it's like I said, the questions you probably on there are probably not going to actually be on there. I don't think any ones that were on there that I watched from the video. But the good thing about it is that you kind of get used to the testing plan. Like, and both of them are trying to tell you why the answers are wrong and how to pick the best answer. Because I'm telling y'all, from taking those exams, a lot of it is just picking the best possible answer. Sometimes there could be two answers that are correct, but it's picking the best possible answer. Seriously, that's how I did it. And I did a lot of flagging it. I flagged a lot of questions and went back. Like on my medical assisting exam, I flagged 101 questions. There's only 180. I flagged that many, and I went back and I just read them and read them and read them. And it's not easy. Those exams are not easy. And I still, like I say, you know how I really pass my exams? The grace of God. But no, obviously you got to do your own thing too. But those are the two people that I mainly watched. There was some other ones that I did watch, like for my phlebotomy exam. I had this one, is the order of the draw, because that's really hard to remember. So I did watch that one. And the cool thing is I was sitting here and I would set a timer for 2 hours and I would just watch these videos. Literally watch these videos. I'm gonna turn the camera on, I'm gonna show y'all. And I also watched a few videos of like the lab value and the vital sign ranges, because those are good to know as well. Because I'm not allowed to talk about the questions, but there are a lot of questions on there about vital sign. Like it's going to give you, like, let's say for example, someone's blood sugar is like 156, you know, and then they also say like their blood pressure is 120/80, and then they'll say like their temperature is 99.1. Then it's going to give you a list of probable causes, like, okay, what, like, does this person have high blood sugar? Does this person have hypertension? Does this person have a fever? You know, so you have to know the ranges, you know. That's just a little advice for me. But yeah, y'all, so I'm gonna turn the camera around. But I would sit here and I would watch the videos because they're long. Like some of them, like this one's an hour and 13, that one's an hour 26, you know. So that was how I would study. I did make flashcards for these exams. When I tell y'all, I never read them. I made my flashcards on Quizlet. I never read them because I just, like, I know that I'm not going to learn like that, especially since one of them has 229 terms. And another thing I did, which was kind of cool, because my car has Bluetooth and my phone connects to it. So while I was driving to school, I would have these videos playing, you know. So I was studying. That's how I did it. Honestly, that's the main way how I passed my exam. And obviously, lots and lots of prayer, good night's sleep, a good breakfast, and I had me some tea. Just needed a little comfort drink, and just honestly deep breathing, because my heart was beating out of my chest. I was nervous. I was so nervous. But that's how I did it, y'all. So I'm gonna turn this camera around. Hold on. There we go. All right, y'all. So I have my little watch later, and I kept it just so I could film this video for y'all. So hold on, let me fix the camera up. So here are, don't mind my grandma shredding something. Okay, here we go. So this is one of them, end of life care practice test. So that one is more so for patient care technician, because you're going to have a lot of patients die in your care, unfortunately, but it's a part of life. So there's like certain things to do, like, you know, what do you do when they first die, you know, like there's a whole bunch of stuff. So that's a good video to watch. So is this one. Hold on, the light's kind of in the way. So this is a CNA and PCT practice exam. So this is all about colostomy care, which was on my exam. And I think it's going to be on everyone's exam. So it's just one of those things. Being a PCT or a patient care technician, you have to know about that, because a lot of people have them. You know, I mean, I've never worked in a hospital, but I think a lot of people have them. So this right here is like a documentation one. So that's another big thing, doing the EHR and being able to, you know, what is that? Write down the notes and log certain things. You know, being a medical assistant, you have to write all this stuff down in a person's chart. So some of those questions are on there as well. Like that's part, everything that's part of being a medical assistant is on there, you know. So if you're learning how to chart in class, that's going to be on your exam pretty much. I would honestly just assume that everything you learned in class is going to be on your exam. So this is a patient care technician test. So far these are all Florida training. This was just a random one I found. PCT exam. This is from my final exam prep. I watched it. It was pretty good. This is another one from Florida Training Academy, patient care technician practice exam. So this is the order of the draw one, from ICU Advantage. This one is really nice. He breaks it down really well. And I definitely listened to that on my way to school when I was going to phlebotomy exam. Then this is Florida Training Academy again, and they have some phlebotomy ones. Then here we are with medical assisting with Miss K. So this is the CCMA, which is Certified Clinical Medical Assistant. So this is the lab value and the vital ranges, because you need to know the vital ranges for kids, for adults, for like babies. You need to know all of that. So honestly, if your exam is in 6 months, start watching these videos now. I only had like 2 weeks to watch them, and I still passed by the grace of God. But start watching these videos now. Seriously, it will help. So this is the CCMA practice. I didn't watch this one at all. But medical assistant with Miss K. Then we have another one. We have another one. Then this is my test, my prep. This is another one, a CCMA practice test, NHA. I watched that one because it says 2025. I was like, okay, that's up to current, because the NHA is updated every single year. So then it's another medical assistant with Miss K. I think I did watch this one, but I think I watched it twice. That's why it's like that. Then we are back with Florida Training Academy. So she has a patient care technician exam practice test, and then a phlebotomy certification practice test. So these are the videos I watched. And what I would do is I would send them over to my other YouTube channel. Hold on, y'all. And I would just have it playing while I was driving to class. Like seriously, that's what I did. And that's how I studied, and I passed my exams. Like I said, there was a lot of prayer involved. Just, you know, being confident, but not too confident. And honestly, like I said, just depends on how you retain information. But I definitely recommend those videos. And like I said, I recommend studying them earlier than later. So if you're just now starting your medical assistant program or whatever, or phlebotomy or patient care technician, start watching them now, because this is your end goal. You have to take the exam. So that is my advice, and that is my tips and tricks and how I passed my NHA exams. If you guys have any questions, you can always let me know in the comment section down below. Again, I would probably try to link I'm not gonna link all the videos, because no, but I will link the Florida Training Academy, and I will link the ICU Advantage and the medical assisting with Miss K, because if you're going for phlebotomy or even just medical assisting, actually, and a patient care technician, you need to know the order of the draw, because you may or may not take blood. So yeah, y'all, Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell to know when I post, and share this video with your friends. And I will see you guys in my next video. This is probably the second to last videos for my medical assistant student life, because once I get a job I will do like an update video, and obviously I will never film at my job because HIPAA, you know. And HIPAA and OSHA are on your exam. Study those as well, because being a medical assistant, actually working in any medical field, HIPAA and OSHA. So if I do, well, I'm going to get a job. When I get a job one day and I start working as a medical assistant or patient care technician, whatever, I won't be filming at work, but I can tell y'all that I got a job, because, you know, a lot of people want to know about, you know, what's it like to be a student. Then they want to know what's it like to get a job. Like, is it worth it because you got a job, you know? So just keep watching, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys, love you.